Welcome to Everyday English Podcast. Hello, and welcome back to the Everyday English Podcast. I'm Anna.
And I'm Mark. Hi, everyone. We are so happy you're here with us today. How are you feeling today? Ready to learn some English?
I hope so. Today, we have a very important topic. It is the foundation of everything. It is the base of the language.
Oh, the foundation, the base. What is it, Anna?
Today, we are talking about how to build English sentences easily.
Yes, sentence structure. This is for everyone who wants to speak more clearly. If you can build a good sentence, you can have a good conversation. It's that simple.
Exactly. And don't worry if you make mistakes. We all make mistakes. Today, we are going to give you a simple recipe, a recipe for sentences, like a cake recipe, but for words.
A word cake. I love cake. So, Anna, what is the most important rule? Where do we start?
Okay, the most basic sentence in English has only two parts. Just two. Do you know them?
I do. It is subject plus verb.
Yes, subject and verb. The subject is the person or the thing. The verb is the action. So a very simple sentence is...
I sleep. I is the subject, sleep is the verb.
Perfect. I sleep. Another one, she sings, or the dog runs. Subject plus verb. That is your first building block.
Okay, so step one, subject plus verb. But what if we want to add more information? What if I want to say what I eat or where I go?
Good question. That is step two. We add the object. The object is the thing that receives the action. So the recipe becomes subject plus verb plus object.
Okay, so for example, I eat pizza.
Perfect example. I plus eat plus pizza. You are telling us the thing you eat. Another one. He reads a book. She drinks coffee.
The cat chases a mouse. Sorry, little mouse. So SVO, subject, verb, object. That's the heart of the sentence.
But wait, Mark. We can make it bigger. We can add descriptions. How do we describe the subject or the object?
Ah, you mean with adjectives. Words like big, small, red, happy.
Yes, adjectives. Where do they go in the sentence? This is a common question for learners. Do you put them before or after?
In English, the adjective almost always goes before the noun. For example, not the car red, but the red car.
Right, so let's take our simple sentence. I eat pizza. Now let's add an adjective. Let's describe the pizza.
Yummy. I eat delicious pizza.
Perfect. Delicious describes the pizza. Or I drive a car becomes I drive a new car. Or she has a cat becomes she has a fluffy cat.
Subject, verb, object. And the adjectives go next to the nouns. So easy.
It really is. Okay, let's practice together. Slowly. I'll say the basic sentence, and you, listener, can try to add an adjective in your head. Ready?
Let's go. First one. He wears a hat.
How was that? Did you think of an adjective? Maybe he wears a blue hat, or he wears an old hat.
Great. Next one. They live in a house.
Maybe a big house or a beautiful house. Very nice.
Okay, we have subjects, verbs, objects, and adjectives. But where do we put the place? For example, I eat pizza. But where?
Good. We need to add location. We use words like at home, in the park, at work. These phrases usually go at the end of the sentence.
So, I eat pizza plus location equals I eat pizza at the restaurant.
Exactly. Or she reads a book in the library. The place comes at the end. Another one. He sleeps on the couch.
I do that a lot. Okay, so now our sentence is getting bigger. Subject plus verb plus object plus place.
And if we want to say when, what about time? Like today, yesterday, at 5 o'clock.
This is a little tricky. Sometimes time comes at the beginning, and sometimes at the end.
Right. For simple sentences, putting time at the end is usually safe. So, for example, I eat pizza at the restaurant at night, or I eat pizza at the restaurant every Friday.
And sometimes, to emphasize the time, we put it at the beginning. Yesterday, I ate pizza at the restaurant.
Yes, both are correct. For now, learners can put it at the end. It's easier. So let's build one big sentence together.
Okay, let's start with a subject. Let's use my friend.
Subject, my friend. Now a verb. What is your friend doing?
My friend buys.
Verb, buys. Now an object. What does he buy?
He buys shoes.
Object, shoes. Now an adjective for the shoes.
Sports shoes? Sports is like an adjective here. He buys sports shoes.
Great. Now place. Where does he buy them?
He buys sports shoes at the mall.
And time. When does he buy them?
He buys sports shoes at the mall on Saturdays.
Listen to that. My friend buys sports shoes at the mall on Saturdays. That's a perfect long English sentence. See how we built it, piece by piece?
It's like Lego. You put one block, then another block.
Let's practice with some short conversations, real-life situations. Are you ready, listeners?
Let's do it. So imagine you are at a coffee shop. You want to order. What do you say?
Hi, I would like a coffee, please.
Sure. What kind of coffee?
I would like a hot latte. There's our adjective, hot.
Perfect. See, you just built a perfect sentence. Okay, another situation. You meet a new neighbor.
Hello, I live in apartment 4B.
Nice to meet you. I live in apartment 4C.
Do you like living here?
Yes, I do. The building is very quiet.
Quiet is an adjective. It describes the building. And the verb is.
Excellent. One more. Talking about your weekend.
What did you do last weekend?
I visited my grandmother. She lives on a farm.
Oh, nice. Was it fun?
Yes, it was fun. I helped her in the garden. Subject, I. Verb, helped. Object, her. Place, in the garden.
You are all becoming sentence-building experts. Anna, we should talk about a very, very common mistake.
Yes, please. What mistake do you see a lot, Mark?
The biggest one is forgetting the verb to be. In English, you must always have a verb. For example, a student might say, I happy.
Ah, yes. I happy. That is missing the verb. In English, we need to say, I am happy.
Exactly. She beautiful is wrong. It must be she is beautiful. They at home is wrong. It must be they are at home.
So remember, every sentence needs a verb. If you are describing a feeling or a state of being, you need the verb to be. Am, is, are.
Another small tip. Don't translate directly from your language. Word order can be different. In English, it's almost always subject, verb, object. Stick to that order and people will understand you.
Great advice, Mark. Okay, now it's time for our practice and recap section. We will say the key phrases again slowly. Listen and repeat in your head or say them out loud if you can.
First, remember the basic order. Subject plus verb plus object.
For example, I love music. I is the subject, love is the verb, music is the object.
To add a description, put the adjective before the noun. I love loud music. I drive a fast car. She has a sweet smile.
To add a place, put it at the end. I love music in my car. She reads a book at the park.
To add a time, you can put it at the end too. I listen to music every morning. We eat dinner at 7 p.m.
And remember the golden rule. Don't forget the verb. Not they hungry, but they are hungry. Not the book interesting, but the book is interesting.
Let's do one final big recap sentence together. I'll say the parts, and you try to put them together in your head. Ready?
Subject, the children.
Verb, play.
Object, games.
Adjective, fun.
Place, in the garden.
Time, after school.
The full sentence, the children play fun games in the garden after school.
Yes, amazing. Did you get it? That is a beautiful, long sentence. You built that.
See, it is easy when you take it step by step. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start with one block and then add another.
Well, that is all the time we have for today on the Everyday English podcast.
We hope this helps you feel more confident when you speak. Remember the recipe: subject, verb, object. Add some adjectives for flavor and put place and time at the end.
You are doing a fantastic job. Every day you listen, you learn, and you get better.
Please remember to subscribe to our channel so you never miss an episode. And if you liked this lesson, give us a like and leave a comment. Tell us a sentence about your day using the SVO rule. We would love to read them.
Thanks for learning with us today.
Keep practicing your English every day. Even one sentence is a great step.
Bye for now, everyone.
Take care and see you next time.